Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. We are jumping right into the video today because of how important I feel this topic is. So listen everyone, if you want to get better at Apex Legends, there's only one way to do it. Drumroll please. Practice. Wow. A lot of you want to become godlike players who are dropping 20 bombs in Predator lobbies while only playing 1 hour every week on the freaking Nintendo Switch. Now that actually might happen if you just came out of the womb with a Bloodhound mask on, but for us average players, we need to practice in order to get better at this game. I wanted to show all of you how to practice and not waste your time. I know practicing sounds terrible and you're only playing for fun and to get away from real life, but I promise you it's not that bad. In my new tips and tricks series, I'm going to show you a lot of easy ways you guys can practice that don't take that long and are still fun. So please make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of those. So what I mean by practice is, for example, you're in game and the last person left in your squad and you see a team of 3 holding down a building. Normally the right thing to do would be to just leave them alone, like they're lions at a zoo and you're just some kid not trying to go into the pen. But for practice, you push them anyway. Of course you're gonna die if you don't push often, but then you can see what you did wrong and learn from your mistake. Practice and learning, people, it's how you get better. Which brings us to the main topic of today's video: how to improve / practice your aim. For you super sweats like me that play 8 to 10 hours every single day, you should be practicing your aim for at least an hour every day. For any of you casual people who don't think they have the time to improve, just do what I'm about to explain for about 15 minutes every day before you hop onto the game, and I promise you'll see improvement. I'm going to break this down into 3 levels: beginner, intermediate, and I have a sweaty butt when I play. Or in other words, expert. I'll get into how you tell which one you are later. For now, let's just jump right in. Quick side note, please make sure to like this video if you enjoy this type of content. It really helps me out by showing this training series is actually helping you guys out and you want more of it. Alright, for the warm up / beginner stage, you focus on this if you have 15 minutes to warm up or you're just not so good at the game. Everyone should start every day with this one, but better people will move on quickly, and you'll see what I mean in a second. So for starting out, I like to pick up my favorite gun. For this example, I'm using the 301. Don't put any attachments on it, only a blue mag. For whatever gun that is, only a blue mag. We do this because it's very unlikely that you'll ever run around with a gun without a mag on, and it's more common that you'll find a blue one more than anything else, so that's what we practice with. Now for this first warm up, you're going to pick up your favorite gun, blue mag on it. You're going to start with this dummy right here and you're going to beam him. The goal is to beam him with a 1 mag. Every time that you do beam him and you feel comfortable at that range, you're going to take a few steps backwards. And then you're going to beam him again and take a few more steps backwards, and then keep doing this over and over and over again until you get to a spot where you don't comfortably feel like you can beam him. So for example, right here, I'm missing a few shots and I'm not killing him off the bat. And I can also track where I am by using my environment around me. I also like to keep a mental note of where I end up each day so I can see if I've gotten better or worse as the days progress. Fun fact, you can also use Pathfinder's ult to track where you are. For the next one, you stand on the corner of the first platform. By the way, still using your favorite gun with the blue mag. And then you just go by and kill all 3s one by one. So you start with number 1, which is kind of behind you. And then you go to the second one, which is a little bit in front of you. And then you move on to the last one. There's no real stopping point to this one. Also, it's just keep going until you feel really confident in controlling the recoil of your gun. Nextly, which will be the last recoil control one of this video, is basically going sideways with your gun. So you want to keep going to each of the dummy walls and basically try to make a circle around the dummy, ADSing, and try to 1-clip them as you're going in a circle. See, so for example right here, I didn't get the 1-clip in, so then I tried again. And then every time you can 1-clip them, you keep going back and forth. And this is another instance where checking your environment to see where you left on is very important. So every time before I move, I know exactly where I was last time, so I can keep going farther and farther. And that's kind of the whole point of doing this aim training, is to start close and easy and then keep going farther and farther so you know your range. So if you're going to go fight someone, let's say medium range, you know, like, oh, that's a little bit too far, my recoil is not that good there, so I'm going to reposition, or I'm going to wait for a better instance in the fight. And then I also said to pick your favorite gun in the beginning, but make sure to do this with more than 1 gun. Don't just keep using the exact same gun, because you want to get comfortable with multiple different recoils. So I like to do this with at least 4 to 5 guns every single day, that beginning part. And now this one is very specific to non-automatic guns, Mostly the wingman. I know a lot of people don't like to use the wingman, but it's one of my favorite guns, and if you do use the wingman, I highly recommend this. Basically, stand in front of one of the dummies, shoot the left one, the right one, the left one, the right one, the left one, and right one. Try to go as quick as possible and to get as many headshots as possible. Nextly, we're moving on to the intermediate section of this video, which is all focused on movement. Movement is a huge part of this game and extremely necessary to keep practicing. For this, I actually recommend getting a better secondary gun to finish off the dummies when you don't kill them right away. I tend to do this a lot, and that's just a quick tip because I screw this up all the time. So for this one, you want to start at the second to middle platform. You want to get a good running start, and then you basically just want to slide and try to ADS the dummy all the way down to 0. If you don't get it the first time, then just kill him with your secondary, reset, and try the slide again. This one's important because movement and sliding, especially in the higher levels, is almost necessary. And if you can't slide and shoot someone at the same time, then you're gonna lose most gunfights. For the next one, we're gonna be doing the jump slide one. This is more to practice the jump slide and to practice ADS while sliding. As you can see in the video, I mess up the jump slide quite a bit, and I also don't 100 to 0 them a lot, which is why I practice this all the time. But basically what you're gonna do is stand right in front of the dummy. You're gonna jump in the air holding left or right and holding the slide button, so that when you hit the ground, you're gonna continuously keep sliding and trying to shoot the dummy. I use this a lot in game. It really throws people off, and it's great for getting out of bad situations, so it's very, very important to practice. And then for the last one, in the intermediate one, you want to go into this tall big rock. Quick side note, you also want to get a fully kitted out gun with all blues, just because it's the most common ones you're going to be finding. You're going to sit up here and you're going to try to ADS down all 3 of the dummies. This one is for height practice, so when you get an advantage of height on your enemy, so you can comfortably aim down at them and know that you will kill them. And lastly, we're finally on advanced / expert. This one is focusing on long range and bullet drop. So for the first one, you want to go to the top left or right platform depending on how you're looking at it. You want to look down at these tiles, specifically the 2 moving, and you want to shoot them from long range. As you get better at the game, you learn that you want to focus more on your positioning rather than just taking every single fight. So that is why a lot of these advanced expert tactics are up above, because that's where you want to be position wise in most of your fights. So on this first one, we're just aiming down on these moving targets, trying to hit them from long range. Try to recoil your gun as much as possible. The most damage you can do to one of these platforms is 350 with a 301 light mag. I recommend seeing how much your gun can do to one of the platforms so you know what's the max damage, and then keep trying to do as much damage to it as possible. Next, you're going to go to this very, very middle one on top of the skeleton. You're going to use a wingman or any sniper or long range gun that you like to use, and you're basically just going to practice your bullet drop. From the same thing, you want to be up above because that's the position that you want in most cases, and you also want to do this pretty quickly. So you want to finish all of them before the first 3 turn blue. So only the first 3 should be blue, and you want to hit all 8 of them. And then for the last part on this expert one, you want to go on top of the very opposite platform of where you started, left or right depending on how you're looking at it, and you want to hit, basically just hit all 3 of the dummies with a wingman. This is great for practicing bullet drop. The reason you want to hit the dummies on this one is because they're a lot smaller targets, and it's a lot better to train your eye on hitting them from long range. And now some quick bonus tips for you guys. There's 2 here. The first one, I like to practice this so often. I think it's very, very important, is to stand in front of a dummy and practice your 360. You don't have to shoot, you don't have to do anything other than spin. The reason I like to do this is because I like to know how far I need to turn for certain positions. So if you can feel extremely comfortable in turning and knowing exactly where you'll be depending on how much you turn your mouse or your controller, it's extremely beneficial. So just give it a quick 5 to 10 minute practice run. And lastly, the very last thing is turning on the bots so you can get some kind of real world experience inside of the training range. I know the bots are kind of brain dead and they don't really do much, but I like to use it just to actually have to be able to move and peek them from sights, yada yada yada. So to do this, you want to go to the very far tunnel from where you spawn in, again left or right depending on how you're looking at it. You want to be Pathfinder for this, and you want to get on top of this panel. You want to go to the very middle of it, look down, and then change legend. You'll hear a little bing drop as you're doing that, and that indicates that all the bots are turned on. And then just go back down. I normally like to pick up an R99 and a Peacekeeper to just kill them right away, or they will melt you. So I do that so I can get all set up in the beginning. And then in all reality, because they aren't so good, I really just like to have fun with this. It kind of gets me warmed up, practice things that I would normally not do in game. For example, you can see me jumping up and down on this zip line, practicing peeking spots, trying to do very, very quick movements, you know, just run around, get a feel for the game before you start and actually verse real players. And that's all for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys keep doing this over and over again, and then come back to this video in like a week and let me know if it actually did
improve your aim, or if there's anything that you do differently that you also think that I should add to one of these. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a huge thumbs up. It really lets me know that you guys enjoy this content. I should keep making it. Also, this is part of a tips and tricks series that I started for Apex Legends. So if you're enjoying this, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss another one of them. Thank you for taking time out of your day to watch my videos. I know there's a million YouTubers you can watch, and I really appreciate you guys sticking by and watching my videos, especially if you watch all the way to the end, which I know you did because you're hearing this right now. And that's all for this video. I really appreciate you guys again. I'll see you next time.